in just a moment. If y'all could all have a seat, we would really appreciate it. I have to put my glasses on, sorry. I'd like to welcome you to the Manatee Tiger Bay District 1 and 2 County Commission debates. We will be separating these two debates just because there are so many candidates. We want everyone to have time to speak. I'm Christy Haley. I'm a proud board member of Tiger Bay, and I will serve as the moderator today. If y'all can all please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd like to... Sorry, I didn't realize the mic was stationary. I can't move it. I'd like to thank METV, Bradenton Herald, and ABC7 for coming today and helping to cover this momentous event. If you are running for office and not one of the candidates that are part of the debate today, could you please stand and introduce yourselves? Okay, we'll start in the back.
Jonathan Mullis, candidate for Manatee County School Board, District 5.
I'm Martin Hyde. I'm running for State Senate 22.
Thomas Schwartz, running for Bradenton City Council on Ward 3. John Kalovich, running for District 6 at large, all of Manatee County.
Don Phillips, running for District 72.
All right, thank you, everyone. All right, today's format. The debate consists of opening statements, followed by a series of questions directed to the candidates, and we'll conclude with closing statements. The time limits. Each candidate is allotted a specific amount for their opening and closing statements, as well as responding to questions. This ensures that all candidates have an equal opportunity to present their views. Opening statements are 2 minutes. Question response is 90 seconds. Question rebuttal, if granted, are 45 seconds. If a candidate calls you out by name, you will have the opportunity to rebut, and the closing statement is 1 minute. Questions. Questions will be posed by the moderator, with questions from the audience only if time allows. Candidates will be asked to respond directly to the questions, and follow-up questions may be permitted. No personal attacks. Candidates are expected to engage in civil discourse, avoiding personal attacks or derogatory remarks about their opponents. If a candidate cannot follow the rules, there will be one warning before asked to exit the stage or be removed. Rebuttals. Candidates may have the opportunity to rebut points made by the opponents within a 45-second time frame. And audience etiquette. Audience members, please refrain from interruptions, cheering, or booing during the debate to maintain a respectful environment. If one does not comply, they will be asked to leave immediately. On behalf of Tiger Bay, we thank you. All right, this is District 2. Welcome to our 3 candidates. You will each have 2 minutes for your introductions, and we will start with Commissioner Ballard.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you all for having me here today. I'm Amanda Ballard, County Commissioner for District 2 here in Manatee County. So District 2 is the urban core of Manatee County. It's East Bradenton, Samoset, Oneiko, Elwood Park, the entire city of Palmetto, Palmetto Point, and Southern Ellington. I am absolutely proud to represent this district. I spent my entire career as an attorney in the local child welfare system. Doing that work, I saw the underbelly of things that were happening in Manatee County. Everything from substance abuse to homelessness, housing affordability. I saw hundreds and hundreds of cases, children suffering. And through that work, I decided that there was no one at the local level who had the experience, the knowledge, and the interest in making a difference to the issues that plague our urban core. So I came on in 2022 with a plan to finally address the crisis of homelessness in our urban core. We have made immense progress with that. We have had a great partnership with the sheriff, with nonprofits, as well as with our with the community at large, and we are making the kind of progress that we want to see. We have also invested heavily in District 2 in a way that has not been seen in the past. We have improved our parks absolutely immensely. We are protecting agriculture at Mixon Farms and bringing it to a new generation. And we have cut the millage 2 out of the past 3 years, bringing relief to taxpayers. I love this job, I take it extremely seriously, and I love working for the people of Manatee County. I will continue to devote myself wholly to this work.
I do want to make a quick note because I failed you, Amanda. Ms. Xavier Bailey, I wanted to say the timekeeper. So green means that you have, that's when you can start and your timing begins. At 1 minute through, or halfway through the rebuttal, it'll be yellow, and the red will show up when your time is up. You can finish a sentence when your time is up, but if you continue to speak, they will cut off your microphone. All right, Mr. Charles, could you be our second?
Good morning. I am Charles B. Smith, former county commissioner, president and CEO of Manatee Harvesting Company. We've been in business over 80 years. I'm a former vice mayor of City of Palmetto, former city commissioner. I'm the only ever advanced certified county commissioner. I'm wearing my shirt down in the history of Manatee County government. We need change. I graduated from the Florida Redevelopment Academy as an expert in housing, environment, urban core. We need change. My opponent, Commissioner Ballard, has continuously voted against the environment. She voted with Mosaic, 14-year extension of a contract, jeopardizing, in my opinion, every development out there, women and children, 14 years. There's no telling what's going to happen with that. Commissioner Ballard has voted to outsource Port Manatee and give it to the state of Florida, getting rid of all the pro-commissioners that oversee that in the local level, to give it to the state so they can put people on the board and in one commission be advisory level, jeopardizing our water out there also. Commissioner Ballard has did several different things. This is why I'm running. $50,000 per month for 5 years from FPL, which is a giveaway, $2.5 million. In my business, I can't make decisions like that. I understand about workers' comp employees. At one point, we had over 400 employees. I'm a self-made man. If I don't make money, I don't eat. I am the only son to work outside the family business. We need change in District 2. We need strong leadership. We need someone that's not going to be in the process of being threatened by development, being talked down to by development, and continue to persecute these things that we're doing. Animal service.
Thank you, Mr. Smith. Amanda, if you could wait until after Ed does his intro, and then we'll let you read back those comments.
Thank you all very much for having me. My name is Ed Bailey, Republican native from Manatee County Commission, and I'm the only Republican candidate that can say I was born here in this district. And the reason I'm running is because I asked myself a question: is my life better now than it was 4 years ago? It's a question that I've asked at a lot of my events, and I cannot find a single person who can say that their life is better today than it was before we see this current commission. Look at traffic. Traffic has gotten worse. If you look at the cost of living, it is high and going up. If you look at infrastructure, it is failing. And my generation is taking the brunt of all of those development decisions. It is taking the brunt of all the environmental decisions. In 20, 30 years from now, I hope to still be here in Manatee County. But unfortunately, I want you all to look. How many of your children no longer live here? How many of your children plan to get an education and then move out of Manatee County? We are losing a generation here, and I want to be the voice to prevent that. I served in their county. I know what it takes. I know the ins and outs of county government. What I will say is this: I am not beholden to special interests, to PACs, or to anybody other than the people of District 2. And that is leadership. That is the change that we need in our district. I was honored to be endorsed by Commissioner McCann, honored to be endorsed by the Bradenton Times, and today we are going to have a debate. We're going to answer some questions. I look forward to hearing whatever you all have to say. Again, if you want to know more about me, please go to my website at electedbilly.com. Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Okay, Amanda, you have 45 seconds to rebut.
Thank you. So I'm happy to address some of the comments that were made by Mr. Smith. I will say I did vote to take control of the port outside of the commission. Commissioners are not experts in running a port. I think it needs to be professionalized. It is not the expertise of a commissioner. Commissioners are not elected because they want to be port authority members. And I think we need expertise. I think we need people who understand the business decisions of running a port, who have expertise in maritime operations, and who can take that port to the next level. I can tell you that many commissioners do not pay attention sufficiently to the port, and that is a problem. That has been a problem for a very long time.
Okay, I want to move on to questions. We'll have some time to speak. She didn't call you up directly, though. Okay. Okay, you can have 30 seconds to rebut what Ed said.
My family owned 3 businesses. My family owned 3 businesses in District 2. I'm the only candidate that runs a business, ever ran a business. Mr. Bailey don't even live in District 2, never did before he ran. Let's keep it honest and keep the narrative proper. We have an interest in District 2. I've been elected 7 times in District 2. Our company budget is 7 figures. So I understand about the opportunity, what we need and what people are suffering through. Thank you very much.
Okay, Ed, you have 15 seconds to respond to that one comment.
I'll usually wait till August, after August, to deal with Commissioner Smith over here, but I will say this. I grew up right in District 2. I went to Manatee Elementary, went to Team Success for middle and high school, both schools located in District 2. I don't know where this rumor or lie keeps coming from, but this just shows you we need change in District 2, believe me.
All right, candidates, are you ready for your questions? All right, we're gonna start with Mr. Bailey for the first one. What are your plans to promote economic development in District 2, and how will you support local businesses in adapting to growth?
So, first of all, in order to talk about economic development, we again have to go to the root of the problem. The average age in Manatee County is around 50 or 55 years old, and it's expected to go up. If you want economic development, you are not going to get it by having an older population as the average. No businesses are going to want to come here and expect a workforce that has only 10 or 5 years to get. We need to make sure there are plans put in place that we can keep young people. We need to make sure we protect young home buyers, first-time home buyers. We need to make sure that we continue to invest into our youth. These are the decisions that I'm looking to make on the county commission, because 20, 30 years down the line, I will still be here and still be younger than the average age that we see today. So that is something that we need to focus on. My plan again, promote young people, continue to have them stay in here, work with people in District 2 to figure out how we can keep our generation from moving away.
Commissioner Ballard?
So economic development in our urban core throughout District 2 has been a challenge. And I think that it, frankly, has been hindered by our issues with street homelessness. I cannot tell you the number of times that I have heard from small business owners in my district who are struggling with this. They say, I can't have people come into my business because we're struggling with this issue. There are people hanging out, loitering outside. It's a problem. So until we get a handle on this issue, you will not see the kind of economic development in our urban core that we need, absolutely. I agree completely with Mr. Bailey that we need our young people to remain in Manatee County. And we are actually, I don't really know where he got his stats, because our average age is about 47, and it's actually decreasing. We've had a lot of young people move into the county, and so we are becoming a younger county at this point, which is a really good thing. I do believe that we need to support our young people. We're talking now about changing our economic incentives so that they can be tailored, rather than just giving money to businesses to come here. Instead, providing money for training and making sure that we have apprenticeships and a workforce that is ready to take the jobs when they come.
Mr. Smith?
Look, economic development is very important to me. I understand why it works, and I understand why it doesn't work. Being a business owner, I understand that we have to do things different. The Board of County Commission not set up for economic development. They're set up for building and building and destroying the environment. That's what it's set up. Until you replace these commissioners, we're gonna have the same old thing. They don't even have a CRA, Community Development Agency. Okay, I'm certified in that. That's from small businesses, giving incentives to them to hire locally. Okay, we're hiring everyone, developers are hiring everybody from cross seas. I'm gonna keep it real with you. It's a scam going on. They're getting French benefits, they're getting things done that they shouldn't be getting done. So the mindset is replacing the people in office. They're not going to do anything for you at all. Most of them never ran a business. Economic development, you gotta be done some of your life, you gotta even be done failed. And get off your knees and get up and stand up and fight for the people. That's what you have to do.
Okay, Mr. Bailey, you have 15 seconds to respond to the comment.
Thank you. I'll tell you where I got my information from, the U.S. Census Bureau. And I gave a speech a few months ago at the Manatee Patriots where we all had a fun game of looking up, and it is 50 to 55 years old, and it's addressing homelessness. Homelessness is still a big issue in District 2. Just driving through here, you can still see a lot of homeless people here who really need a lot of help still. So that's where I got my information from. We are going to tackle the homeless problem if I'm elected, but we're also going to make sure we're paying attention to our young voters as well. Thank you.
All right, next question. This is going to start with Mr. Bailey. What do you believe is the most pressing infrastructure challenge facing your district today, and what specific steps would you take to prioritize funding?
So, to answer the first part of the question, traffic is a huge, huge issue. And it's very, very bad. I mean, if you get off of work at 3 o'clock, you better hope that your house is walking distance. It is that bad. But in order to take these steps to secure funding, we have to build a consensus on this board, and we have to bring attention to the issue. We have not seen that over these past few years. In fact, all we've seen is rubber stamp approval. So until we start having a commission that's going to stand up and say, okay, we cannot approve more until we get actual infrastructure put in place here, it's not going to happen. Back in 2023, 2024, 5,500 homes went east of the FDAD line. That's going to cost taxpayers millions of dollars in order to make sure that we have the infrastructure needs out there, including the roads, including the drainage system. District 2 needs a voice and is going to need somebody that's going to advocate for these things. That is what I'm volunteering to do.
I'm going to focus my attention on District 2. So in District 2, we have a little bit of a complex system in that we have a lot of areas that are incorporated. And so the county actually has to work with our cities very closely to improve infrastructure needs in many parts of District 2. One of the things that we have worked on and will be working on is repaving projects. Many of our urban areas are actually quite constricted, and they were built in a way that it's kind of difficult to add lanes, things like that. But what we can do in those areas that are very constricted, where houses are built right up to the road, is we can do repaving projects. We can fill in sidewalk gaps. And another way that we can that we can address the issues with our infrastructure in District 2 is to fill in those sidewalk gaps, to use federal dollars in a really smart way. Using our CDBG funds to fill in sidewalk gaps, to do repaving projects, and to do that in a way that we are focusing on the urban core, which we have not done in the past, because we're not getting the impact fees in District 2 that we're getting in other parts of the county.
I don't know if you've driven around Manatee County, specifically District 2 or anywhere, and see where buildings are being put on the side of the road, knowing in the CIP you already got to widen those roads. They're issued permits where you're going to have to buy those properties and widen the road. I have no idea why they're doing this. You go by the Soda Square Mall, the building is right on the road, knowing all the time you got the 4-lane that road. These are the things that we need to be considered about. 40% of District 2 is living in poverty. They need strong leadership. Not leadership that need a check at the end of the year to make a living. I had to make a living for myself. I was elected at 26, but I was running a multi-million-dollar business. Keynote speaker in 1989. So I have the experience to understand the infrastructure needs to be in place before you issue the permit. They need to be mandated to do that. You takes 10 minutes to go walk down the road now because of traffic. District 2 is the dumping ground for traffic. That's what it is. And that's why they're trying to do this flyover to completely destroy businesses, or potential businesses. No one will develop in District 2 if they see you're gonna do a flyover in 5 years, 10 years. It's a bad investment.
All right, next question. This is going to start with Mr. Smith. District 2 spans communities both north and south of the Manatee River. As a county commissioner, how would you balance and address the varying needs and priorities of the different communities within your district? How will you ensure that the voices of all community members, particularly underrepresented groups, are heard and considered in your policymaking and planning processes?
When I was your county commissioner, I held community meetings. I held probably about 100. I wasn't afraid to go out and talk to churches. I was not afraid to combat the issues that was important to my community. I organized. I went to over 100 homes when people had issues. I didn't wait for them to come downtown to see me. I returned phone calls. I returned emails. I was the only commissioner to come to your door and knock if you needed to see me. I didn't make excuses that set an appointment with my executive assistant and I can't see you. I didn't make an excuse that it took me 2 months to get back to you. I have pride in what I do. I think at the end of the day, it's a close call for me to get to heaven. God will remember what I've done, where I stood up for the underserved and underprivileged. I have no intention of putting homeless people in jail after I'm elected, at all.
Mr. Bailey?
Thank you. I want to go back to that first question. Traffic is a problem in District 2, and also there are a lot of solutions involved, but they have not been brought up in the first few years leading up to the last election, but now they're being brought up in an election year. I wonder why that is the case. And also impact fees, as I mentioned, the impact fees. Well, in August of 2024, there was a vote to lower the impact fees, not have the vote, and did not support the vote to recommend a new study, that way we can collect the amount that the state allowed. So we lost $585 million worth of revenue over the next 5 years because we cannot collect our impact fees. So that's the first problem. Now, answering the question that was just asked, first you have to be a member of the community and be a part of that community. I've traveled through and traveled up and down District 2. Palmetto residents do not know who their county commissioner is. And if you want to look further, look at what happened at the cemetery. I'm now hearing reports that's been a problem from years prior. And the people did not see any leadership going down there to let them know that we're going to solve this issue. In fact, again, it only happened in an election year. Why is that the case? There are people who are said, they've reached out to county officials, they've reached out to everybody that they can, and nothing has been done. So if you want to bring communities together, you have to be willing to be a part and listen to those communities. You have to be willing to go in and have those town hall meetings, which we have not seen in the last few years here in our district. Those are big problems, and I assure you, when I become elected, that we are going to address those. Thank you.
So District 2 does span a whole lot of communities. We have Southern Ellington, whose needs are very, very different than Palmetto Point, who is more aligned with somewhere like Terracea. We have Elwood Park, which is a farming community right in the middle of East Bradenton. We have Samoset and Oneiko that are underserved in many ways as well. And I have reached out and I have contacts in every single one of those neighborhoods and am regularly meeting with constituents, going out to meetings, whether those are HOA meetings, community meetings, meetings at churches. I go to people's doors. I go and knock on their doors and say, all right, what is the problem? People call me, I come out to their properties. And I will always do that. I always have done that. I did start hosting a couple of town halls early in my term. No one showed up. No one from District 2 came to those community meetings, those town halls. So I changed my approach and I started coming to where people gather. And it's worked out very, very well. And I think I do a great job of representing every community within my district.
All right, next question. And reminder, you do have time at the end of conclusion to go back to any questions that you may not have time to finalize. Florida's Live Local Act removes local zoning barriers to build affordable housing. Manatee County has a great deal of industrial property around Fort Manatee. What types of projects should be the priority around the port and why? Commissioner Ballard, do you want to start with that one?
Sure, I can start. The Live Local Act, as it is currently conceived, is a disaster for Manatee County. It is not true, it does not provide true affordability for Manatee County residents. It's at 120% AMI. So developers are taking advantage of that. They are cutting through every local process that they have, that we have set in place, and just getting approvals without coming before the commission. That's a problem. I also think that our industrial land that we have, our heavy industrial, we don't have a lot of it. It's very difficult to rezone something industrial heavy, so we need to preserve the industrial land that we have for industrial uses. We need industry, we need businesses. We can't continue relying on the boom and bust cycles of construction and of tourism to make up the bulk of our economy. We need real economic development, and so the types of development that I would like to see around the port are businesses, businesses that are related to maritime industries, heavy industry, manufacturing, every kind of job that people in Manatee County are ready to take, and that needs to be in conjunction with training and apprenticeship programs so that we have the population that is ready to take those jobs once they're available, rather than having those jobs go to people who are being moved in from out of state.
I'm sorry, but the good commissioner financial report don't reflect that she has any issue with anything over there. Number one, you have to control the port. Look at her financial report. It don't mention anything what she's talking about, because she's taking money from every development she can. You have to be in control of Port Manatee. When you're elected to the Board of County Commission, you're elected as a Port Manatee Commissioner. You can't separate it. You know that. So why would we want to give away that area and lose everything around it with the private sector? I'll tell you why. People lining up for contracts and jobs. Economic development is very important out there. When I was a Port Authority Commissioner, I fought for stuff out there. I fought to make sure that we didn't have anything desired that was not in the best interest of this community. I was the voice of the people, not just District 2. Countywide. This is what we need. Someone that's bold and not afraid and not concerned about development or getting a text from one of these developers telling you how to vote. It don't work with Charles Smith. I make my own money.
I agree with a lot of what both of my opponents have said, especially with the fact that developers are taking advantage of the local act. They took advantage of our county commission as well when they put their people on and got every rezone that they wanted. And also, again, Mr. Smith is right. Look at the financials. Look who's taking the PAC money from the real estate agencies. Look who's taking PAC money from the PACs that are really secret PACs of everything else, like the Knowledge is Power PAC ran by Matt Doster out in Tallahassee. But first, we have to address this economic development issue. Again, when you are elected to the county commission, you are the Port Authority member. And to give that away and to try and take that responsibility and give it to the state, where the governor is going to appoint people, and we've seen who the governor appoints. He appoints people that donate to his pockets. We know who's going to get those positions. It's not going to be people with the best interest of the people in mind. So if you want someone that's going to go up there and fight for all the things that the people want, which is our job at the end of the day as county commissioners, you have to look at the records. You have to look at what they are going to do after the election year, because that is what is important, and that is where you see the true colors of the people running.
Did you want to read that one over?
Well, I got comments from both of my opponents, neither of whom actually addressed the issue at hand. Instead, they took the time to attack me rather than actually speaking about industrial development at the port or the Live Local Act, which is an interesting choice. If they actually have plans and ideas for the county, I'd like to hear them rather than just attacks on myself and my character. I have taken money from a couple of local developers of affordable housing, and I am fine with those donations, because Those are developers that are providing the true affordable housing that we need in Manatee County, at the levels that people in District 2 can actually afford.
Okay, next question. Keep in mind, we've heard this question from many people really wanting the answers, but I'd like you to really think about point 3 as I ask the question. We've received multiple requests for this question. Many residents are concerned about the influence of campaign contributions from special interests, developers, and donors who live outside of Manatee County. And District 1, you'll be getting this question too, so be thinking now. Number 1, have you received campaign contributions from any of these sources? Number 2, approximately what percentage of your campaign funding comes from outside Manatee County? But most importantly, number 3, how will you assure constituents that your decisions will be guided by the interests of Manatee County residents and not by campaign contributions or outside influences? Charles, I'd like you to start with that one, please.
I have contributed about $6,000 of my own money to my campaign. I've raised about $8,500 to my campaign. That won't be happening. They don't want to give me no money anyway because I'm holding them accountable. They don't want accountable people on the board of county commission. They want people who will just rubber stamp stuff while you get ready to vote, text you and threaten you to vote their way. That's what they get. All of them under threat. Don't let them fool you. They need the job, they don't have any money, and they wasn't qualified to get it anyway. Most of the county commission, 5 years, they wasn't even living here. This is why we got so much problems. This is the only place in the state of Florida where you can come, be a county commissioner in 5 years and just move into town. This is the problem that we have. Those things will not happen with me. I'm self-financing my campaign. Yes, I do need donations, but I'm not accepting, don't get it twisted now. I am not accepting any money from anyone at all. I even had to tell people that, no, I don't need your money. I'm not gonna be bought and paid for. We got too many people, life is suffering. We got the dogs and animals suffering because we left $8 million to build a facility and they mismanaged that. When I was the county commissioner, made a 3rd-degree felony to abuse any dog, one of the toughest laws in the state of Florida. So I'm gonna show up and show out when I get there. I'm gonna protect everybody in this room, Republican or Democrat, independent.
Mr. Bailey?
Like Charles, they haven't bought me either. They're not donating to me either. Again, I have accepted money from 0 people in the development industry, other than maybe a small-time realtor here or there, but not from any realtor PACs, not from any special interest. In fact, I got money from a law firm that I was not aware of their history, but I publicly returned that back. You can go to my website and I publicly returned that back. That is the promise that I made 3 days into this campaign. So if you think you're going to get rubber stamp out of me, it's not going to happen. But we have seen that in this past county commission.
So my donations are local. I've got donations from local attorneys. I've got donations from friends. I've got donations from 2 affordable housing developers that live here in the county. Actually, I think one of them might live right across the line in Sarasota. I am proud of the donations that I have because guess what? Those donations do not control my votes. Those donations allow me to get my message out and to talk to the voters as effectively as I can. My job right now as a candidate is to run an effective campaign. I can run an effective campaign if I have the resources that I need to do so. Campaign donations do not control my votes. They never have, and they never will. I don't have a campaign consultant. I am doing this on my own. I am proud to be doing it on my own. It's a whole lot of work to do it on my own. I've designed my own palm cards. I designed my own website. I am doing this on my own with my family, and I am taking donations from people who I believe have the best interests of Manatee County at heart. And those are the only donations I am willing to take.
Okay, due to time constraints, we're gonna go on to a quick yes, no, you can address it in your conclusion. And then one more question. I have a quick yes, no question. Did you call him out directly?
No.
Okay, okay. Some residents, this is just a yes, no question. Some residents believe that a county charter would give voters greater control over local government, while others note that state law limits local voter approval of development applications and comprehensive plan amendments. Do you support doing a county charter for Manatee County? Yes, no? Amanda, you can start.
It's more complicated than that. It is absolutely a much more complicated issue than that. I am willing to explore a charter in the event that it is in the best interest of people in Manatee County and does not hurt our municipal partners. A lot of municipalities are very concerned about the impact that a charter would have, and because I have so many incorporated areas in my district, I would need significant conversations with my counterparts in both Bradenton and Palmetto before I would believe that that's appropriate.
Okay, Mr. Smith, 30 seconds on that one.
This came up when I was city commissioner. The constitutional officer will fight against you and get you out of office if you can try, because they want to continue to have power and glory. It doesn't work. Sarasota's on this one example. How is that working in Sarasota? Developers get everything they want. You're there for 8 years, they get rid of you, and they put somebody on planning and zoning. Then they put them on there for 8 years, and the staff know you're leaving, so they don't do nothing for anybody in Sarasota County at all. It takes more than that. It's all kind of different charters. It's actually 70 different charters you can do.
So I agree, this is a question that is much more complex than a simple yes or no. There are more people that need to be involved in this conversation than just the people sitting up here or people coming up. We have to talk to our local officials, whether that be the constitutional officers or also the municipalities. So I will be happy to look at it. I think there's some good things that can happen with the charter, but it needs to be a conversation that includes a lot more people than just the county commission.
Okay, this will be your last question before your concluding statements. Mr. Bailey, I'll start with you. What is the one issue facing Manatee County that you believe is not receiving enough public attention?
Well, earlier I spoke about traffic, and I think everyone can see that. But if you want to really know the truth, the biggest issue is we do not have a county commission that is listening to the people, and that's not being addressed. You have a county commission that is going back and forth with whether that be their consultants, whether that be the special interest, and just giving them whatever it is that they want. Look back at 2023. You know, my opponent said that she's not controlled. Well, then explain the wetland vote. Explain the impact fee vote where you decided to not raise the impact fees to the state allowed requirements, or state allowed maximum of 100%, instead of giving the developers a gradual increase. So if you really want to know the biggest issue, it is not having a voice on that county commission representing the people, whether that be the people of District 2 or Manatee County as a whole. And that is something that we need to address, and we can address it at the voting box in August of 2026.
Commissioner Ballard?
So I will briefly address my opponent's statements first. Again, I would like to hear what Mr. Bailey would like to do for Manatee County. I have not heard it. All I hear is, you're bad. I've seen no plans. I've seen nothing that actually shows that he has the experience, the demeanor, or the experience to do this job and do it well. I think that one of the biggest issues that has been ignored over and over and over again in Manatee County is our drug problem, along with our homelessness problem and our mental health problem. The people that are most impacted by that are in District 2. People in Lakewood Ranch, people in Parish, people out on the island, they're not affected by these issues. And I have been the only commissioner to bring these issues to the forefront and to make enough people care that something has actually gotten done. And if I'm not on the commission, these issues will fall by the wayside. There will be no one who is willing to do the work to continue leading so that we can actually have a solution to some of the biggest problems that actually plague our urban core.
Mr. Smith?
You know, this delusion everywhere. I see residents going to the Board of County Commission, hurting, trying to deal with issues and try to get their voice heard. And the diocese thumbing their nose at them, smiling at them. You got animal service out there, the dogs out there sweating right now on the life and death situations. You have different stuff comes out there and people come want to do something positive, and then you have a commission sign affidavit to get them arrested. We can't have these games. You got to read, you got to be able to say what you need to say. We're big guys, we're gonna get criticized, we're gonna get talked about, we're gonna get called names. That's part of the job. That's part of the job. If you're scared that fence, get out the business. Get out the business. They said some of everything about me. I would never sign an affidavit against someone. I would never throw someone off a board for volunteering to do different things. This is why we having so many different problems with people coming to adopt dogs, because they're afraid of the things that the county commission is doing. They don't want to be caught up in that. It'll be an open door policy for me. You can disagree with me all day long. I can learn from what you tell me. Maybe you can change my opinion. My mind is not made up on anything.
Okay, Mr. Bailey requested a 15-second rebuttal.
So I've met with a lot of people, and I'd be happy to explain my plan. My plan is also on my website, electedurability.com. But if you want to really talk about experience, again, I worked at the county commission. My experience is being a member of the community, not being drawn into the community. That is my experience. My experience is making sure that we do our part as residents in serving in roles that people don't typically serve in. Again, I worked in the county. I know the ins and outs of county government. And as far as attacking my character, I don't know what that was about, but I think the record speaks for itself.
Okay, Mr. Smith has asked for a 15-second rebuttal, and then Ms. Ballard, or Commissioner Ballard, if you'd like a 15-second rebuttal, and then we will do our final
I've
remarks.
been in business over 40 years. I've been in an elected appointed position over 26 years. I was second in charge in Florida government, in the state of Florida. Look, it's plain and simple, okay? Experience is experience, okay? Commissioner Ballard don't have any experience. Her house was drawn into the district by Petty Senior. She wasn't living in the district. So she has 4 years experience. She's a staff attorney, okay, shuffling papers to real law. She's a certified lawyer though. So what we gonna count experience for? He may have more experience than her.
Mr. Ballard.
How dare you? I tried 50 cases in a courtroom protecting children from abuse and neglect in Manatee County. And I spent my entire career doing that work, saving children in Manatee County.
Okay, we're gonna do final remarks. Let's work on focusing on why people should vote for you and let's not have any more personal attacks on any of our candidates. Commissioner Ballard, I'd like you to start. Why should Manatee County elect you in District 2?
So, I've lived in Oneiko for 12 years. I moved to Manatee County as soon as I graduated law school. And I have made Manatee County my home. I'm raising 3 children here. I am completely dedicated to this job. I am the only candidate who has qualified by petition twice. And that tells you that as a commissioner and as a candidate, I am willing to do the work. I don't have to pay my way in to get on the ballot because I'm willing to do the work. I came back to work 2 weeks after having a baby, the first county commissioner of Manatee County to ever have a baby during their term. I was back on the dais with my child after 2 weeks and taking him with me until he was old enough to go to daycare. I am completely dedicated to the work. I am completely dedicated to the people of District 2, and I will continue to be so.
Mr. Smith?
You know, the thing about holding office, telling the truth is not attacking anyone. Telling the facts is not attacking anyone. People want you to say nice things about them when they're not doing their job. Plain and simple. That's not gonna come from me. Residents want to hear facts and truth, not no political statement. Your life experience don't show any of that. I'm the only one got 40 years of business experience, 26 years of appointed and elected office. I understand what's going on in this community. I'm the only one probably out at 8 o'clock at night talking to people from these standpoints. My brother's the city commissioner in Palmetto. We got investment in District 2. So those things you can't teach. You can't teach someone to have strong faith. I'm the only one here now ordained. Ran a children ministry. So those are the things more important to me. The elderly. We We've got to make a difference. We got to elect better people to office. $112 million missing, misspent. We don't talk about that. A Republican governor, Republican CEO said that, not a Democrat.
Mr. Bailey?
So if you want to know why you should vote for Edward Bailey, I want you to go back and just hear everything that was said. Both of my opponents have said that we need change and we need new people in office, and I agree. So one of the things that I also want to address is Carol Phelps is one of the hardest working commissioners I knew and had the honor of serving with. She paid her way onto that county commission. It's not about how you get there, it's what you do once you're there. And look at the record of what we saw once we had people in office. Their record is not for the people of District 2. Their record is not for the people of Manatee County. It's for special interests. It's going against what we've seen, and we need change in office if you want to protect our way of life. Because Manatee County is slowly starting to look like Sarasota County, and Sarasota is in a fight trying not to look like Miami. So unless we have people on that board who are going to fight to protect the way of life that I remember growing up, that a lot of you remember if you were here over 14 years ago, we need to have a voice on that board, and I hope to be that voice for you. Again, Edward Bailey, Republican, Manatee County Commission, District 2.
Okay, thank you all for each of these candidates for sharing your words and why we should be voting for you. If we're going to take a 5-minute break to switch out to District 1. Thank you all so much. Let's give them a round of applause.